WebMD, the vet version, the new cheese board, and is Missy flipping the script? All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Amy, welcome back. It feels like ages. I've been watching you have a life on your Insta, Facebook.
It's a lot of life.
You've been having a life. I feel like my friend Anya has an opportunity, I would say 4 or 5 times a year, to completely paint her face and submerge herself in fairy culture.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what she's going to or what she's doing there, but she is happy and she has glitter in her life. And I think it's fantastic. And I love to watch it from very far away. I would not fit into that. I would not.
You would so. You would be. You are fucking Tinkerbell. I've never noticed this before. Look at yourself. You're fucking Tinkerbell. All you need is wings and a little bit of evil magic dust, and you're ready to roll.
I would love that dust.
Tinkerbell fucks with people.
She was kind of a dick, yeah.
If you didn't notice, she's like, you're going to do what I say, cunt. That's Tinkerbell. And guess what else? You look beautiful. You've got that little yellow, it's called blonde. Women say blonde. You've got that blonde halo of hair.
You've got that yellowness in
even
your
today,
eyes.
I've got a bad headache.
They call
it's a
it
hangover
jaundice.
headache. Listen, Dick, you've got gorgeous. The sunlight is streaming in on you.
So so Anya has that opportunity 4 times a year. I feel like more than that. You have an opportunity to go to a gala. You are like the gala girl.
I really lucked out. I luck out a lot, honestly. And I'm here to say it's not from my own making, but here's the variable that others can enact in their life and see if it raises your frequency, as the hippies say. Okay, I do a lot of volunteer work. I volunteer a lot, like more than I actually have time for. I'm constantly volunteering, and it's sort of, I stand there thinking, I really love helping, and what the fuck am I doing when I don't have this time to make this happen, right? So it's that push-pull. Volunteer for a lot of people, donate to a lot of causes. As a result, whenever anybody ends up with an extra ticket to their high-dollar donors table, they call me. And that's exactly what happened. The most hilarious thing happened is I was seeing a friend who I don't get to see nearly enough. We overlapped at a lacrosse field, which is typically where we overlap, hugging each other. Oh my gosh, this is Spontini's. This is my Spontini gal.
Yeah.
So Spontini came to the lacrosse. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, 47 minutes away from the house. So that means you're in the car at 6:30 to get your kid there in time. And so we're there. It's ice cold. It's 24 degrees outside. It's North Carolina. It shouldn't be that cold. Spontini's there. We're talking. Yab, yab, yab. We have to do this. We never get to see each other. Let's make the plan. Because if we don't make the plan, she goes, I can't do it today. I'm going to this gala tonight. And it's ridiculous because the VIP starts at 5 o'clock, which is way too early.
It is early.
They do all the VIP people first, and then everybody streams in. That's how they fit them all into one night. So they have to keep backing it up and backing it up. Back it up, up, up. Maybe that's why I was singing that song.
It's Light It Up. But go ahead.
I know. That's why I love singing it wrong. She's there. I said, all right, well, listen, no, I'm not going to that. But if you're just going with your husband, I'll come over. If you're not having sexy time while you're getting ready, I'll have cocktails while you get ready. Right? She's like, perfect. So we had this whole plan in place. Later that day, a friend who I volunteered for called and said, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm at the head donor table. We have a seat. What are you doing? To the same gala. So it's black tie. So I super went to the thing that I was just going to do a farewell
one seat
push.
or 2 seats?
1 seat. My husband's out of town. 1 seat. Perfect. So I rode with Spontini's in her Maserati. So they picked me up. I didn't even have to drive. The best part of the whole night, I'm here to tell you, is I put on all this fancy business and it was a super fail getting it ready. And I just decided I'm going with it. I don't care. Walked out of my front door, down the driveway to the waiting Maserati. Her husband was driving the car and his jaw dropped literally. And then like he was some 1980s teen John Hughes movie character, he lowered the window at the same level as the jaw going down. So it went jaw drop in a fucking Maserati idling. And I'm like, I am the greatest woman on the planet. And then we went to the thing and it was super fun. And I was at this really big table that I had no business being in and everything was included. So open bar, which they never have at these things. wine and champagne at the table, which they like bottles, which they never have at these things. Super blast, hilarious. Raised to 1.5 million. It was a great night.
Wow.
It was a great night. But I tried to get, and this is not even what we're going to talk about. I tried to get that tit tape and it didn't work. I completely failed. You know those cutlets?
I do, yeah.
Oh, and then they have cutlets that look like sort of hands where they grab the boob and put it where it's supposed to go, like the Beyonce tape.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
tried that.
It's double-sided tape, so you don't need to bra.
It so failed. I wasted all my getting ready time fiddling with these chicken straps. They didn't work. I finally threw them in the corner. I went to the thing with no makeup on. I threw makeup in a bag and put my makeup on in the bathroom at the gala because I'm like, fuck
That's
it.
classy.
Fuck it. I'm so hoary. But you know what? And with no bra. No bra and no chicken hands on my tits. Nothing. And at the end of the night, I don't care. I just went and had fun, and it was great fun. And
No, that's not
a little
the end.
sloppy. And
That's
that's
not
way
the
it was.
end of the story. That's not what the picture
not?
showed. No.
What? What's the end of the story?
Okay, so you went with no bra, no tape,
Oh
no
my God,
nothing.
You're gonna tell the whole story?
No, you're going to tell the whole story.
I didn't think we were gonna tell this part. Well, shitballs. So
Look,
the whole thing.
last time, Amy, we discussed that the reason our listenership is going up is because we're honest. And we share when humiliating things, when we shit our pants, when we flip a tit.
Here's the part you don't know. So I'm wearing this spangly dress, and it's a around the neck part that holds it up. That's called a halter top, and it had a really low back. So when you got some ladies in the front, boonk and bagonka, they don't like that. I do where I want, is what they say. And they like tentacles go wow and come out of the dress all the time. So I'm trying to like hoink them in there and keep them and stand in such a way. And it's not. So fast forward, I'm at this table with all these high dollar people. And the woman I'm with, who I love, Miss Jody, is sitting there telling the whole time, she's like, you don't even know how big a deal that was. Like the mayor will come over and be like, hey, mayor. And, you know, the candidate running for this and Kathy Manning, all these people come over, hey, you, ho, ho, woo, woo. And I didn't even realize I know the woman who runs the whole foundation is the mom of my third son's favorite teacher. So I was like, are you kidding? I didn't put those two things together. I'm like, oh, look, how hilarious. So the whole thing, there's all these people that keep bumping in all these people that I know. And it's just surprising that I was so out of the loop for so long. My friend Jody keeps telling me how big a deal, like these people, hi, this is my friend Amy. Hi, this is my friend Amy. And she's like, that person has $80 billion. And I'm like, oh. So I reach over to the woman next to me and I meant to just kind of tap her because I can't keep my hands off people. And instead, I managed to cop a feel. I reached over and I grabbed her leg, which was fully exposed, right? And she does not look like the leg grabbing type. So I reach over and I touch it. No napkin, no dress, and I got a big handle leg. And it was probably more higher up on the leg than one would imagine.
Amy.
But it was late in the night. I grabbed it. And then I thought, this is who I am. This is who I am, Melissa. What would I do? Would I say, oh, excuse me?
No.
Instead, I said, damn, girl, your leg's like velvet. And I grabbed it tighter because it was. Okay. And she looked over at me and she said three things in succession. The first thing she said is, well, thank you. And then she says, that's Trader Joe's lavender salt scrub. It's like a daily treat for my legs. And then she leaned in closest of all and said, we need to vacation together.
Oh my God, I love her.
And her husband went to another table and stole their wine. So I was at the right table is the thing I have to say.
I love her.
And this is the part of the story you were trying to ladder up to. I had this ridiculous dress on with my front lady parts dangling precipitously out the front of the fucking dress.
Which is, by the way, the reason I think you were invited in the first place.
So I'm there, spangled tits akimbo. And the next thing that I hear is this woman behind us it was a live auction and she was bidding on a puppy. Okay. Did you hear this part? They had everything there. Vacations. They had an AKC golden retriever and they brought the fucking dog. So that's how they were auctioning off shots of bourbon for like $7,000, $9,000. I mean, it was fancy bourbon. But anyway, so then they bring out this puppy.
Cuddle.
And I didn't know how to feel because I was like, that's really sick and I want to pet that wonderful widow schnoofle. So they're carrying the dog around. They tarted this bitch. They carried the dog through the tables. And everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God. And the hands are shooting up and the hands are shooting up. And this one woman buys him and he went cheap. He only went for $7,000. People thought it was going to be much more than that. So anyway, she was so excited that she got this dog. And we were in the process of video. I know, Faith.
$7,000 is cheap for a puppy?
I think they did the same stunt last year and the dog went for $12,000. So they were. Did I tell you they were auctioning off shots of a shot?
Well, people are stupid with alcohol, but puppy dog still needs to be trained. Remember that $26,000 dog?
He came with he came with his own crate. You get
you get a crate too. You didn't mention that.
You get a crate.
Go ahead.
You get a crate. So the funny part of this whole story is I'm at this table. I'm making a too loud ass of myself and having a blissful time doing it. I happen to be taking pictures over my shoulder to get the puppy in the woman's arms because she's at the table right behind us. And that is like the head table. We were at a great fucking table. So anyway, I'm trying to not be so obvious. And as I did it, I had my phone facing me. And I realized at that moment, because I was in the photo I just took, that there's a little smudge on the front of my body. And I looked closer and lo and behold, in betwixt my tits, which are out for the whole world to see, it looks like someone has taken a turd and smeared it up and down my fucking sternum. My breastplate is smeared with brown goo. And I'm like, puppy dog, poop, what? And I look down and I realize that the chocolate whoozy whatsits that they were serving in the martini glasses, I must have been a little too liberal getting that spoon to my fucking face. And I had dribbled chocolate in betwixt my breasts and smeared it. And so all night long, I'm walking around with what looks like a shit stain.
Hello, Mayor. It's not duty in my boobie. Is that duty?
It was so gross. If there is any universe where this sounds remotely sexy, I'm not selling it right. It was the most sickening looking thing. It was trashy.
You're
and
listening
filthy
wrong.
and stupid. It was so fucking gross. And I laughed. And then my favorite part is now that I've recognized it and laughed loud enough for all 10 diners at my table to hee hee ho ho and snap, 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 snap. Right now, I have to get a napkin and wipe that shit off. Have you ever seen someone grabbing each breast and rubbing it with a wet napkin at a table?
That's something you do in the bathroom. That's not something you do.
I'm not walking to the bathroom. I'm wearing shoes. And the other part is we lit accidentally our bread bowl on fire twice.
Raise your hand at the table if you're sorry for inviting Amy to this gathering.
No, I didn't light. I actually caught it being on fire. I noticed because I wanted the fucking bread and all these skin flints were not eating. And I said, would you mind passing me the bread? And then someone went, oh my God. And the outside of the metal was really hot and the napkin had a hole in it. Like it was just moments before the whole fucking thing went up in flames. So, and then we did it again.
Crazy.
I took so many pictures of people at this thing who are not celebrities. I thought Britney Spears was sitting at our table. I'm telling you. It was very funny. So anyway, that's an example of what my life is. And it all comes from volunteering and ill-fitting undergarments.
I'll have you know that this morning I volunteered at my synagogue and we made hamantaschen. Do you know what those are?
I do. I've eaten them before, but I forget which one that is. I always think of rugula, which is wrong. Do you have, this is a page for your cookie book. I know I've had hamantaschen before, but I forget which one it is.
They're triangle-shaped cookies that have
That's why I think of the rugula,
fruit something in the middle. Rugula is a rolled...
Is the hamantaschen, is that the one that's sort of like, it's like Jew pico de gallo, but it's made with like sweet chopped fruits and nuts?
Chicks and ducks and geese gonna scurry. Fruits and nuts and beans wanna scurry.
Why don't we start with, why don't you just tell me what's in hamantaschen?
Why don't you tell me what movie you would like to see?
Oh, Kramer.
Oh, Kramer. Yeah, so this morning, my girlfriend Janine does all the baking. So she makes challah and she is a baker, but she used to do it professionally and she's fantastic. So they take advantage of that and she comes and brings all of her professional everything. She brings this incredible cookie dough. And they cut out circles, we do the filling, and you fold it. Circles fold nicely into a triangle. So that was my morning. And let me tell you, the gala that this synagogue has is still going to cost me an arm and a leg, and it happens.
No, but then I get to go. See, that's when I'll show up on your doorstep, and I'll be your plus. You're -1.
You'll be my -1.
Because I'll go and I'll be the bootlegger who follows along.
It's not on the level of your gallers.
It was the JDRF gala. It was for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. They did so many things so well here, guys. If anybody wants fundraising tips, I'm happy to share. But tell me, I want to hear about yours. Tell me.
About my what?
But you're going to go to this gala. What are you raising money for?
No, we already had the gala.
For future Jews.
No, it's to pay the staff they already have. Yeah, it's not that kind of gala.
Is that where? Is that? Oh, it's hamantaschen.
Yes, triangle delicious cookie. So this friend of mine has created new flavors. They come in like prune or
don't hate on the prune. Prune
apricot.
Is just a shriveled ass. Apricot is delightful.
Apricot's my favorite, but she's so creative that she makes like the dough in raspberry flavored dough and does a chocolate chip and raspberry filling. I was going to say
do a chocolate dough and fill it with apricot.
She's done s'mores with
pistachios.
S'mores. She's had the most amazing flavors. She's so creative and wonderful. She's a gift.
And she needs to package that shit and sell it, and then all the Jews will be saved.
That's the That's the conversation we had today.
Aren't you saving the Jews for the? I mean, you'll hire more Jews. You want to hire Jews. It's about employment.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I will tell you.
Nor do I, typically. Go ahead.
That it was delightful, and I had lots of fun with her this morning. I don't have galas to attend like that. It's not a thing. You were also away at a conference, which...
Oh, the conference was fun. That was nice. Yeah.
Which was for your other work life. And
my actual work. Yeah.
And I went away and saw two friends of ours while looking at more colleges.
Oh, you did? Super jealous.
So one of our friends, her daughter, says to me, "Hey, Melissa, do you know what a vagicle is?"
What?
And I said, "Is that like a fudgicle, but for
wait
your
a minute.
vagina?"
How did our friend say this to you?
Our friend's daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a whole new generation of
words.
Hooers that we're raising. Hey, Melissa, do you know what a vagicle is? I'm like,
is that
no.
like one of those wine coolers, but you stick it up your boob?
All viable options that make sense. But she said, no, it's like a facial for your vagina. Which is when our other friend said, it's not your vagina, it's your vulva. And
I know who that friend is.
Yeah, so it's so important to use the right terminology. So, like, do you know what a vagicle is? Have you ever heard of people having a I don't know, facial for their lady parts?
No, I have a friend who actually did a vampire facial, which is where they extract your own blood and they spooge it on your face. And I got to tell you, she looks like $1 million fucking dollars made from vampire money. She looks great. It's a cheat death facial.
Her own blood?
That's what she told me. I didn't really listen that hard because I was like, what? Yeah. I don't care if she walks in and said, I'm taking dolphin spooge and smearing it on my nipples, and now I look like 1,000.
I feel like that would make more sense.
Whatever she's doing, it's fucking working. But I think she said they take your own blood and they all over your face, and then your face looks like a 10-year-old face. It's fantastic.
So should I cancel my appointment on Tuesday for baby Botox?
For the vagicle?
No, I don't have a vagical appointment. I think
she's had Botox before. She's a little bit older than me, and I'm older than you, and she looks younger than both of us. But she's had Botox, and it works. I was asking her about Botox, like I need to get some of this and do it. If you've done it before with success, I think I would keep doing it. I would not keep doing it is the number one thing. If you feel like you would like to do it, then fucking do it because it's worked for you in the past. You don't need it, but if you're rich and got time for somebody to stick some needles in your face, go ahead. That's on you. It's better than sticking some stuff up your twat. What's the point of a vagicle?
I don't know. I like a good fudgicle, but a vagicle is not.
Let's not introduce what a fudgicle might actually mean.
It's a fudge pop that you find in your grocer's freezer, Amy.
Well, if a vagicle is a vaginal facial, what's a fudgicle?
Stay out of my butt. Output only.
Thank you.
So the same friend's daughter says, I'm watching 2 shows I think you'd like. And after she told me what they were, I said, I don't think you know me.
Really? I thought she was going to say, Goop Chronicles on Vagical Network.
So she watches Dr. Pimple Popper, which I can't. John loves that show. John absolutely loves it.
I would exit the table. I would have left the friends group forever.
So then our friend said, oh, yeah? Well, I really like that show called My Feet Are Killing Me. Have you seen this show?
No, I didn't know Pimple Popper was an actual show. I just thought it was an internet horrible sadness that kept following me around.
She's a physician
Tell me about the feet.
Yeah, so what they have are the worst feet you've ever seen. Like picture Picture yourself.
Why? I'm
Yeah, don't picture this. Ready, everybody? Don't picture this.
Yes. Ugh.
Basically, it's barnacles are on your feet and you can't even walk anymore. Picture the side of a boat that has been in the water for 70 years and they pull it up from underwater and they have to chip all this stuff off to find boat. They need to chip all this stuff off to find foot. Yes. So, and I'm just sitting there like, really what we do when we get together is we stay at a hotel, same hotel every time. They should know us by now. We play cards, we bring in ice cream and sandwiches, and we just sit there like dopes and we laugh too loud and we throw the kids in the pool and they come back out and they throw water bottles, getting them to land in the wrong direction. We're just a mess.
This is the best kind of vacation. This is the best kind of friendship. You pick, if you're far away and you say, I never get to see you. You look at a map, you pull out your phone, you pick the point in betwixt you. It's my third time I've said it today. That's where you go. Because I guarantee you they got a comfort fucking inn at that place, and that's where you're going to stay. Doesn't matter that it's any good or not good. The point is to be together. Go and do
I recommend Homewood Suites. They have a nice little breakfast in the morning as well.
Don't they give you a cookie on arrival as well?
That's a DoubleTree.
They give you a hamantaschen when you arrive. Oh. Sounds like a fabulous bag. Doesn't it sound like a great bag? If I was a bag designer, I would have the hamantaschen. And it'd be filled with joy every time.
It would be filled with joy. Maybe raspberry chocolate chip joy. Who knows?
I'm so ready. Back to you, Missy.
So these two shows that totally discussed, and the 1,000-pound sisters, my 600-pound life, and I'm throwing it in there too.
My 600-pound life, I think, is somebody. Oh, that's wrong. My big, fat, beautiful life is here in the town where I am, and they actually shot in my office. They went and asked if they could use our office as one of their locations, and they came because I have a very pretty office. So they came and dressed it up and made it look like not an office, but made it look like a little studio downtown, one of these fancy things. And they shot an episode in there. It was very fun. I think they made it her hair studio. She was like getting her hair cut, which was weird, but anyway.
Yeah, I can't with any of those. The time I have to actually watch TV
let me just interrupt again, because I haven't done that enough today. If you're wondering, is this an edited show or is it just whatever they say is what stays? You'll know from pregnant pauses like that.
I can't with that. I go to bed after I watch TV. I need not to have horrible nightmares. Like, I need something that calms me down a little. There's no daytime TV. I'm sorry. I'm not a college student anymore. There's no, let me sit and catch up on all of these shows. And I told you I can't watch any of my medical shows at night because Stuart wakes up, sits straight up in bed and starts running codes, and he starts freaking out and he can't sleep after that. So he has
But don't you? My habit is I tape the Today Show. I tape it. And what I'll normally do is, as I'm starting my workday, answering emails, doing all the things, I'll play it. And it'll be at whatever hour it is that I'm playing it. And it'll take me most of the morning to get through it. Sometimes I'll watch it at night. You said there's no daytime TV. Sometimes I'll watch that shit at night. Maybe there is daytime TV for you. You have a DVR. You could save things that aren't zits and feet and fatzos.
I tape the nighttime stuff like Stephen Colbert. I really enjoy him.
We tape him too. He irritates me, but we tape him too.
He does?
He does now. I loved him so, and our dear friend worked on both of his shows, and who has sadly passed on. We love you. More power to you, Daddy Rock. And now every time I watch him, I just feel like it's too sad. It's just sad. He's not funny enough for me to forget the sad. So anyway.
I get it.
We do tape it.
I picture what's taped underneath his desk. There's a placard taped under there from
a picture,
from our friend.
Picture of our friend. Yeah.
Hard swivel. Dear listener, do you feel something hurt on your body or feel something going wrong with you and then jump right on WebMD to find out what the fuck is wrong with you?
I thought you were going to say, then call a TV crew because they're going to come and film your cracky ass.
I have not. Well, I go see a doctor because that's what you're supposed to do. WebMD is a very infuriating website to physicians. When my back hurt, I went and I saw a doctor. And I got an inversion table.
You super fucking did spill it. I have such a glorious mental picture of you trying to get in and out of that fucking thing.
Did
you videotape it?
No, it's a piece of cake.
It is not.
Yep.
I
Clip your
picture
feet
you
in.
hanging there, dangling, unable to flip yourself like a turtle. Help me.
You are not the only one who has said that to me. It's kind of like people want me to get stuck in this table. What does that say? Like, let's look at a bigger picture here.
We
What
know
is that?
you.
What does that say? This bitch
Tell us
needs
about
humbling.
it. Talk us through it. Tell us.
Found the $1 million table on Facebook, one of those for sale marketplaces for like
Oh, it's a used. Okay.
like under $100 and come get it kind of thing. Somebody must have been using it as a laundry basket or for a hanger closet. So she was thrilled to be rid of it. And Stuart set it up in the basement and I got in it and I flipped over and I stayed there. And I was like, what is this doing for me? And then my feet started to hurt. But I'm trying it for a couple of minutes, a couple of times a day. And for a little while, my back feels better. So I'm wondering if that gives it enough time to slip that disc back between my vertebrae.
It's the traction. You're creating space in between the vertebrae. I love it.
Okay, I'm hoping that disc is like, oh, wait, I don't belong out here. I belong in here, and goes in on its own. But I was saying WebMD is the enemy of physicians because people come in, or even those commercials on TV that tell you, is this what's wrong with you? Because you need this drug. So I think it ratchets it to a new level when it's not WebMD for people, it's WebMD for the four-legged friends who live in your house.
Oh, my God. Are you loading me up? Do you want me to tell my vet MD story? I'm so fucking embarrassed. You don't even know what it is. It's so great. I love our vet. I only switched to her because obviously volunteering, we overlapped in a couple of places. I'm like, oh, you protect and help and advocate for dogs who are, you're trying to shut down all the shelters here so that they're 100% no-kill shelters. Like, she's just a good egg. So I was like, great, I'm going to you. I don't know anything about your credentials. I'm going to you. Of course, she's a great vet, wins best of vets all the time. So highly respected, wonderful. Take the dog to her. I've mentioned to you that my puppers is on the sickly side. We go in there. This and that and the other. She says, yeah, I think the ears, I think the nose, I think the drippy eye, I think all these things. Got to believe that it's allergies. Before we go the aggressive route and give steroids and do all this other stuff, I want you to do this, do this, do this. And if you like, you can also introduce giving him some local honey. We found that to be effective, where if you just give a half a teaspoon of local honey every day, it's going to help. And she's going on. And she described the whole thing and she stopped talking and I looked at her and I said, are you sure? And the look on her face was just the look on your face. Like, she was talking and I went, local honey, are you sure?
Of
and
course.
She looked at me like, you fucking asshole. Why are you here? And then I laughed so hard and jumped up and gave her a big hug. And I said, I can't believe I just did that. I said, but it's like I'm talking to one of my fucking friends. I said, I didn't mean to do this. I just was flashing back to, don't give your kids honey because they'll choke and die. Don't give your kids peanut butter. Don't give your dogs grapes. Like, give your dog honey sounded like counterintuitive medical advice.
She didn't just say honey. It's local honey because it's from the bees locally, from the flowers, from all of the allergens that it's for kids too. It's for grownups too. Or the Manuka honey that comes from New Zealand. But
I love that Manuka honey. What the fuck is that? It sounds like perverted.
The good
What's
stuff.
That thing.
Yeah,
Make
that's for another episode, I guess. So yes, the fact that you considered her too close of a friend to take her authority on this topic at all seriously is hilarious, disrespectful, and wonderful story making. But she went to vet school and she's right. They tell you to do it for your kids too. The local honey has all the introduction of all the local shit in your area.
I couldn't believe when it popped out of my mouth and the look on her face. Oh, she happens. It's only important because the next part that comes after it. She happens to be gay, and she went through this whole thing where she was having, my big gay wedding and all the rest of it. And I guess some people were not supportive, which I find I don't really get. And when she happened to mention in passing, that she had fallen in love and that she was going to get married, I was like, oh my God. And I was just asking her about it and talking about her romance and the wife and all this other stuff and the fiance. And she was very moved by it. And she was like, thank you for your support. It was such a weird fucking thing to say. I'm
Supporting
so out
love?
of touch. Thank you. I'm so out of touch when somebody would look at you like you don't. I just talked to my vet friend about her main squeeze, and she is always aware that she has to qualify it. And that was the kind of thing I was
sad.
like, it's let's all work to make it not the case, because I don't think of it as any fucking different as anything else. And that's a problem too, because it clearly is different. And to forget that it's different is like forgetting, I don't see color. Well, you fucking should, because lots of other people do, and they dicks about it.
And you got to make it right.
You got to make it right.
You got to make it right. But what was funny was this morning while sitting with some older people making hamantaschen. I mean, volunteers. When you volunteer, it's people who can. And whether you can because you can afford or can because you have fucking time. Like it's one or the other.
Because you're a good person, or can because you're a good person. You're all three.
I'm volunteering, and some of these old people are talking about politics. And I'm like, I'll be over here triangling squares to make.
Is it fair to say, speaking as the not representative of all the Jews, is it fair to say that the majority of Jews are democratic minded in the same way that I am a Catholic? And it is sadly fair to say that the majority of Catholics are Republican minded.
It is
because
fair
it aligns
to say.
with the dictum. And so so weren't you in a safe space?
I was. But what was funny was one of them said this: I do like that Pete, but this country won't allow it.
No, triple no.
And I said, let it go. I was like rocking. Let it go, Melissa. Let it go, Melissa. And I said, allow it? Question mark?
No.
And she said, like, clearly I do and I don't. I'm going to make you say it. This country wouldn't allow a gay man in the White House. And I said, I'll bet you in the last 45 they did, but they didn't know it. But besides that, I think they're ready. I said, I think they're ready. I think it's.
What do you think, Ellen? Yeah.
I think they're ready. And then I thought, pass me the apricot spooge so I could finish filling all of these things. I can't. Like, I'm not going to engage other than to say, yeah, don't vote or not vote because what you think other people can handle. You do
Here's
right
what
by.
I heard recently that stuck with me, and I think this would be a good opportunity, would have been a good opportunity to do. You did it naturally in your own way, but even to take a step further. When people say these things, they're baby stepping into acceptance themselves. And our job and our ability is never to change what somebody else thinks. That's so don't even wage that fight. That's foolish, right? You did the right thing, of course. But I was a woman, right, that said this?
Yep.
Oh, okay, so her saying, I like that Pete, was a risky thing to say. And her qualifying it with, I don't think the rest of the world is with me, is her baby stepping into, but I'm okay with it, and I'm going to work to make it okay. So those sentences are coming at some point in the future. They're not there yet. So even for her to say, I like that Pete, is her way of saying, am I in a place, am I in a world, am I in a community
safe,
where it's okay, where I can like somebody that, 10 years ago I would have never said I like that Pete, right? Regardless of the politics. So the thing we're talking about here, for those that don't know, is there's a candidate running for the Democratic Party, for the presidency of the United States. He is a mayor of Indiana, and he is openly gay and a married gay man. So he is the first.
Who are you talking to right now?
The whole world. We have international fucking listeners. Maybe you should check it out. Australia, Sweden.
We stand with you, Australia.
Guess who else we have? And they don't need my explanation. Russia. We've some fucking Russians.
So they already know.
They already know. They've got their own viewpoints on Mr. Mayor Pete. So in any event, the point that I'm making here is it could have been about anything. It could have been about race. It could have been about gender in other ways, right? To start to baby step into saying something like that, so to have met her with everything that you did was right. And it's also like, that's okay. I think they are, right? Which is to reinforce, and which you did, reinforce the future that you want. Reinforce the future that you want.
Do you know what future I want?
I don't. I think I do. I want to be there, whatever it is.
I think you do. I love a good cheese board.
Oh my God, the cheese board.
Can we agree that a good cheese board is like joy, especially if there's a good bread board next to it, next to the cheese board?
Oh, darling.
Yeah,
There's
of course.
No cheese board without bread.
So,
yes. Charcuterie and cheese, all of the above. The board, the idea of the board, but it really is just in cheese and meat, isn't it?
No, I do think of you when I hear the word charcuterie. And
you should.
I do, because
then I spit on the ground.
Because you like to make it nice. You like to always host
super do.
Home, not your home, restaurant, wherever we are.
I make
you
a banging
like
board.
to have a banging board. That's your thing. even if you do it for the table. Let's get this for the table. I'd like to for the table. And it's a wonderful reputation to have, to constantly want people to feel like there's something there for them, something delicious, something of comfort. So I'm an enormous fan of all your boards, all your banging boards. I did see a board on the interweb that was a pancake board.
Oh my God.
They had mini pancakes, little tiny mini pancake circles, and all sorts of toppings.
We would call those accoutrements.
To go.
And you don't pronounce the S, but fuck you, Grammar Dragon.
Grammar Dragon. I'm like, who's Grandma Dragon?
Whoever the Grammar Dragon is going to fly out and bite me in the ass and light my hair on fire. Tell me about...
It's trending. It's trending. There's
tell me about
fruit,
the pancake board.
There's fruit, there's cheese, there's nuts. It's kind of like one of your banging boards, but instead of the bread, which is a staple, and what I had for lunch today, by the way. What do you have, Melissa? Bread with butter for lunch? Yes.
Who are you? Why are you questioning my life choices?
Exactly.
Not friend.
Not family. My family knows. But a pancake board, how genius is that? What do you and to make those pancakes, it's a little on a little platter because you don't have to make it the right size. You just need little tiny, really vehicles to bring the berries and the cheese and the spreads.
Oh, so it's like a gringo taco.
Yes.
So you take your pancake,
do it,
and you fill it with delight.
Hey, Amy, what's cooking?
Oh my God! And then you roll this master bitch up and shove it in your gullet. Oh my God, there's nothing better than a pancake when you cook the outside with butter and not oil.
Yes.
And it makes that lacy little delightful thing. Well, it's easier to cook a pancake with oil because of the higher flash point. So when you cook it with butter, you have to have a little bit more...
Really watch it.
You have to have a little bit more skill because the butter will burn, or it'll be browned butter, which has a nutty flavor.
Okay.
Which is not really it's not the ideal. So to have the perfect pancake, you're going to start already with some melted butter. You're going to pour it in that pan. You're going to get it just sizzly enough. And then you're going to drop that beautiful, and it's going to go bubble, bubble, bubble. And when you flip it over, it's not only cooked, but the pattern of the browned bits on the pancake
the butter pattern?
Are going to make like a little snowflake star so that every single one is unique. And when you bite it, it's crunchy on the outside and super soft and fluffy on the inside. And the inside is also going to be stuffed with beautiful raspberries and syrups and chocolate chips and fruit and maybe a little marshmallow and all of the delights from the board that you wedged on top of this delicious literal pancake that you fold in half and wipe it all over your face or your breasts if you're out at a party. I mean, evidently this is the way that you do things. You take a pancake and you shove it down the front of your blouse and then $1.5 million are raised.
And you get a puppy.
All for diabetes.
all for
juvenile. T1D, bitches.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Back to the gala just for 30 seconds. There were so many things that were so well done. The center piece, the decoration that they had hanging, you mentioned that you were volunteering. That's the reason that Maserati was there at all. Spontini's. She had gone and volunteered with a whole bunch of people to save the foundation money. They hand wired glittering paper, wire in long streams. And then they affixed that to a giant thing that they suspended in the middle. So it was like this huge glittering octopus in the middle of a gigantic ballroom. I took a picture. I'll show you. It's gorgeous.
Can I ask you, wouldn't it have been smarter to use your winter balls that you put in trees and have those all over the room?
I guess you could. It was just super, I think it was labor intensive, super inexpensive. Okay. They're flat. If you could picture squares of almost, so probably 12 by 12. There were squares of paper, pretty heavy stock, but they were kind of glittery on one side, all solid colors. And then they had wired one to the next, but think of like a fishing line wire.
Yeah.
So they're hanging in long streams. And then as people would enter the room, they'd go, I mean, it was just beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Do you have a picture that you can put on our...
I have a picture that I can put on our...
And
if I'm really bad and block out my face, I might even put that chocolate tits. I want to see the pancake board. That's the picture I
will put the pancake board up.
That's
in
the one I want to eat.
Brilliantobservations pod.
That's the one.
or Brillo BS pod.
So I have to fucking rename that dumb private group on Facebook. BRILL, like krill with a B, OBS, OBS, pod. Like, if you can't get there at that point, I really can't help you.
You're not welcome. It's not for you. If you can't figure what pod is for, this ain't for you.
Hey! It's super great.
I will put a picture of the pancake board, which blew me away. I went away. You all know, we talked about how Amy and I went away to Atlanta together, and we had breakfast together every morning. And she made for me something that sparked from this pancake board. She just took the most incredible fresh bread that when you're cutting into it, you hear the crisp on the outside and the just smoothie melts in your mouth on the inside. She slathered it with butter, an amazingly rich cheese, and a marmalade that was on the in a super sweet orange. I don't even know what it was.
Yep. It was crazy because it was that crunchy, oaty, weedy, I'm super healthy but kind of not bread. The delicious, thick, brown, humble, yumble bread.
Might have been honey in there too.
I covered it with all that crap. And on top, because it was the cheese had some tang, the butter had that gooey, delicious, luscious, fat mouthfeel. And on top of the whole thing, the surprise, on top of the marmalade, which was orange marmalade, very sweet, very sticky, all these perfect flavors. And then the thing right on top was a few chives, which you don't expect. And it took the whole thing into this startling, bright breakfast town. It was a delight in your mouth. It's fantastic.
So I'm watching her prepare it for what could be, 18, 20 minutes. And I'm like, yo, I'm getting a piece of that shit. Like, there's no way I'm not taking a bite of that. I think you offered first. And I was like, no, you really worked hard on that. You should definitely reap all those benefits. And you made me take a bite. And I kind of cried a little.
It's so great.
When I saw the pancake, I will never doubt you. And when I saw the pancake board, I'm like, yo, this is for Fugazi. This is right up your alley. It's right up your fudgicle. It's right up there.
It's right up your fudgicle.
And that set segment is known as, hey, Amy, what's cooking? Amy, in the past, we've talked about a couple of these things. I don't know if you were on pod at the time or not, but spanking kids in public. Thoughts?
Oh my God. I don't really know who could be for this. I don't know. I don't know where you're going to land on this thing, but I had an encounter recently. I was out trying to get, honestly, something for the front porch. It's springtime. I'm just trying to break out. I went over to a place they have really good home stuff. It's really inexpensive. Doesn't look inexpensive. Wandering around, and it happened to be this, I think it was President's Day. So it was like a ridiculous sale. And this child was running in and out of this giant warehouse style home store, running, laughing, squealing, the kind of running that makes you think, why don't you watch your fucking kid? That was my first thought.
Like a wild animal. Like something's going to break.
My first thought was, fuck you, where's this girl's dad? Where's this girl's mom? That's my first thought. I assumed
it was a boy. Okay, go ahead.
No, and that's why I wanted to say, because she was a terror. And she was running around like a terror. And clearly she was playing with her brother. They were playing chase, right? And then even as I had that thought, and before I could censor my own thought and think, you're a raging bitch, like even before I could even get there, I heard her giggle. And that alone went from, she was running and shrieking and squealing in a way that was like, and then I heard her giggle and I thought, oh, these are bored fucking kids and they're having a game. I'm so happy for them. It happened like that in my head, right? And then I just looked at the kids and I smiled, and I always try to because they came running past me in such a way where they thought, oh shit, we're in it now, right? Because they knew they were misbehaving, but they were having fun, and I was kind of giving them the look like, bad behavior sanctioned by me. So anyway, later in my shopping trip,
I love
sadly, I happened to encounter, they're there. The dad stormed up to them, grabbed a hold of her by the arm. Where have you been? Pulled her to the side and starts wailing on her ass, literally spanking her ass.
Seriously? You're watching this?
Yeah, well, I immediately, when I saw him coming, turned the other way because I knew it was not going to be good. Because sometimes you see those parents coming and you want to give them the look like, we're all parents. Isn't that great? You're not offending anybody. Don't train when you see a dog doing something bad in public, don't train your dog in front of me. Do it at home. Don't do it at all. So, no, I knew what was coming. And he just grabbed a hold of her, pulled her to the side, and they weren't horrible spanks, but they were like startling spanks to her and to the rest of us, because now she went from giggling, "No, I'm sorry, Dad," just screaming out loud, and it was like a lot of that, pound, pound, pound. And there was probably 10 pounds on her bottom that I heard from aisles away, and her wailing and crying. And the whole thing I could think to myself is, the only reason she's running up and down these fucking aisles, dick, is because you were too busy looking at the 70% off rugs. Sorry. That ain't her fault. That's called your fucking fault.
You checked out, stopped parenting, and brought her here.
Yeah. And in the course of that trip, she got away from him again, and they went through this whole fucking thing again. And I'm like, you didn't learn your lesson yet, Dad? You didn't learn your bad dad lesson? Where's your wife in all this? Meaning she was right there with them shopping, and always it was the dad. So I was always sort of thinking, like, why aren't you getting involved, Mom? Or would it be worse? Would you grab a hold of the kid and strangle her? Like, I mean, how is this helpful? The whole thing just made me so upset.
So when
because I can't do anything. I can't do anything. It's their. Not only is it their purview, not only, sadly, in our country, it's their legal fucking right. In the majority of school districts in our country, public school districts, check your state, gang, it is the legal right of teachers to use what is called corporal punishment on your kids. It is the legal right, I would bet you, in public schools in Pennsylvania, that the teachers can strike your kids. It is in North Carolina, because I looked it up and I went and I had it changed at my independent school. It was rewritten out of the code. It is the legal right of teachers to use corporal punishment on your kids. It's an old rule. It's still fucking there.
The South is batshit crazy. No, the South is fucking crazy, and you're in a private school, so it shouldn't even matter there.
I went to our school and said, this is the code in various counties. I want you to check and make sure if it is the policy at our school, I want it changed, and they had it changed. I'm here to tell you, it is in more places than you think, because it's one of these forgotten things. There's batshit. Yes, the South is batshit. We do not have a corner on the market on batshitness. And I'm here to tell you that they're like, you can marry your cow laws that are on the books right now in your fair state and states further north than us both. So lots of madness is there. I would encourage you to look at it. The point being, it was this family's right to do something that kind of as humans we know is not right. We all know it. The research tells us, our hearts tell us, our faiths tell us, our communities tell us, our children who grow up right tell us, our children who grow up wrong tell us. Spanking don't fucking work. And I was powerless except to say, oh, there's some more damage happening in the world. Great.
Yeah, so there are 19 states where it's still legal to beat your kids in school.
Did you just find that?
Yeah.
You're a fucking wizard.
But I can't go through that now because I can't do two things at once. I'm slow Missy.
I like single tasking.
It's focus. Here's the issue for me. I don't beat my kids. I don't care whether it's in public or in private. I don't think hitting a child is any lesson other than saying, let's hit. There's no way that hitting is the right answer. I'm going to say,
here's a
ever.
Lesson. Pow.
Right. And now, luckily though, because now my kid is over 6'2", 6'3" at this point, and a big kid who could fucking kill me if he wanted to. Right. Oh yeah, Mommy, you want to try that again? But I will say this, there's a window, I think, where if you were to discipline with corporal punishment, it might earn you respect that I don't have, or fear, probably more fear. My kids are not afraid of me. And sometimes I don't know that they necessarily respect me either.
Yeah,
but I never hit my kids.
I don't remember, would you rather be loved or feared? You'd rather be loved.
Always. But there's no, would you do it in public? I wouldn't do it in private. I wouldn't do it in a bar, or.
I will not spank green eggs and ham.
Yes. So I will not spank green eggs and ham, because that is teaching another human only to hit. So if I have to, whatever it was, I had to find another way. Was there a situation at one point where a child ran into, from getting out of the car, ran into a very crowded parking lot and scared the bejesus out
in
of
the path
somebody?
Of a car or something? Yeah.
There was an arm grab and a reaction, but it was never, okay, choose your switch. Dear listeners, were you beaten as a child?
Is that why you like this podcast?
Is torture Does it bleed into your sex life now? Like what? Dear listeners, who hurt you?
We're trying to do a little audience profiling. What's wrong with you?
Dear listeners,
was
who
it
hurt
A?
you?
Were you denied pancakes with a switch?
Oh my God. Yeah. Dear listeners, were you beaten as a child? Did you hit your kids? And how has that served you in your present? Dear, this is going totally the title of this episode. Dear listener, who hurt you?
Well, I mean, I know we're joking about something that's super not funny at all. And it was culturally okay in my corner of the world, in the mid-Atlantic region, in, the late 60s through the mid 80s, right? It was still this culture in my Italian heritage that you at least talked to Mean Game about, I'm gonna pop you, I'm gonna this, that. The language was very much like that. I think I maybe got a pop on the bottom that I recall. I don't even think I recall it, but mentally I know I've had at least one on my butt. Maybe it's been a handful of times. It was not a regular thing. It was not a threat. There was no object that was included. It was a hand, right? And so it was also A-okay. You would see people talking about on TV shows at the time, people talking about getting hit with a belt or with a switch or whatever, getting hit with hairbrushes. Some friends would get hit a lot, and it was their go-to move. There was a particular hairbrush or whatever that was the threatened thing.
The wooden spoon.
And sometimes it was
wire
the
hanger,
the broom handle, all of these horrible things. but part of it, it's because the kids would hide under the bed, and the mom would take the broom handle to suss them out from under, and then whap them when they got out. So, and this all sounds incredibly violent and horrific, which I'm sure it is. At the same time, a lot of it was the language and the threat. The threats that were used to shake you up, get your attention, were so different than they are now. And I also think that the very real threats of the world around you were so much less than they are now. And it's
ridiculous. What are your threats now? Give me the car keys.
Meaning the threats of the world around you. There was no issue with being out unsupervised, wandering multiple 2 and 3 neighborhoods away until the sky got a certain color. Your parents didn't know where you are, and there was no way to get a hold of you if they did. There's no phone, there's no GPS tracking. We were not worried about predators scooping you up.
I don't think my parents cared. I don't think they cared. I think they had
didn't
kids.
care.
Yeah.
Well, no. They didn't care in the way that they weren't required to care. They weren't invited to care by the circumstances. It was not a feature on the nightly news that some kid is getting scooped up at the bus.
You don't think kids were abducted? You don't think that was happening?
I do, but I don't think it was happening with the frequency that it is now. And the reporting of it was nowhere near as widespread. 2 things happen. So we didn't hear about it as often, and the idea was not seeded and planted with instructions for not only how to do it.
Yeah, here's a manual
for how to evade it, and with all the rewards of being on the news, of having it. So all of those things in the cycle now, just to, I don't know how that relates to spanking, but the idea was everybody talked a mean game, and that didn't necessarily correlate into rampant physical abuse in the majority of households. Everybody talked about it though, like it was happening. And I don't, children should be seen and not heard. That was 20 years before we were kids. That was the way it worked.
Do you know what our GPS was when we were younger? Our GPS was somebody's mom stands on the front porch and yells, "Hey, Annie! Annie, you get your ass back here! Annie! Annie, get your..." Like it was, "Annie, it's time for you to go home."
My mom had a bell. She had a bell on the back door, and she would ring that fucking bell, and you would sort of be like, "Oh fuck, that's the bell." And
that's our bell. Is that our bell or is that the cowbell? What bell is that?
Bell. And then there was a certain, "Oh my God, you just pulled out a bag of jelly beans. What are you trying to do to me? What are you trying to do to me? I thought you were my friend."
No, the lights would go on, and we would go home, and we would end our night. But now now the threats are, "Give me your phone. You can't take the car." I mean, the threats are kind of, I can't even say they're parallel, because we never threaten physical harm. We take away from them what they value. How is beating your child taking away what they value?
I don't think it is taking away with it. I don't think that was ever the point. I think that it was an expression in the most literal sense of dominance. It was,
no, that's disgusting.
You have, but that's, what else could it be? The idea that as the authority figure, the parent, right? That's how our entire culture worked at a point, and all the way back into the dark ages. I mean, and
So we
earlier
just-
than that, my fucking well-educated children would tell me. Well, the idea is the authority is the one that sets the rules and you enforce the rules. And the penalty is pain. The pain point that you're creating now is taking away of a cherished privilege. The pain point in prior generations was fucking physical pain.
Okay.
Physical pain. I'm gonna stab you with this red hot poker because
You
a
had to
witch,
put
or
it that
whatever
way. The pain part. That's how you made it clear to me. That helps me
Consequence is
understand.
it's a pain. It's a negative. Yeah. I get to say what happens to you, and what happens to you is fucking sadness. Bring it.
We don't have.
Oh, we're the greatest parents in the world.
Yeah, we're not saying our parenting is the way to go, but if you're beating your kid, you're missing the point. If you're beating your kid, you're missing the point of why that behavior happened. And beating your kid does not stop the behavior. And how do you feel decent or okay with yourself after you raise your hand and smack a child? I mean, it's kind of despicable. And so you went the other way because you couldn't watch it happen. I would go the other way because I couldn't keep from saying, what the fuck is wrong with you hitting a child? Why don't you man up and parent and maybe you won't have this problem?
But you wouldn't have said that to a stranger. You wouldn't have.
I think it's easier to say it to a stranger than it is to somebody I know.
Have you ever engaged with someone who was engaging in incredibly inappropriate behavior? Have you ever engaged with this? You've never done this. I'm not putting you on the spot like this is the worst thing to do. I'm just saying I don't think that's what you would have done. I think you would have been really conflicted and angry and you would have exited. But I also think if there was nowhere for you to flee, I don't think you would have said something to this person. I don't see you as I'm going to stick my righteous finger in this. And you would have been right, but I just don't think that you would have done it.
I'm super passive aggressive. I think you know that. I'm out in the world. I'm like a unicorn. Melissa was spotted. I'm super passive aggressive. So it would have been more like not under my breath, but to my child. I would never have done that with you in a store. I would have realized that I would not talk to that person because I don't know them. I would talk to my child.
Right.
And say, I would never have done that with you because I know full well it's my fault you're acting like a fucking dick in public. And that's what would have come out of my mouth.
That would have been perfect. No, that would have been good.
But I would not. You're right. I would not shake my finger in their face and say, you should do this.
But I also got to believe that just like the politics, my reason among the many reasons for turning away, I'm not going to change this dude. There's not a single thing that I can do to disrupt or change or modify or in any way temper his behavior by giving my opinion on it. Because sadly, he's in a place where he's not doing this because he's completely lost control. He's doing it because he thinks this is a reasonable choice to the circumstances he is engaged in, he's witnessing. So he's standing here seeing it and thinking, oh, this is a reasonable consequence. And that's the part that's crazy.
Yeah, but when you say, well, it was culturally blah, 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 so was dog fighting. But when you find out that it's wrong and it is common knowledge that it is wrong, you don't fucking fight dogs. And now there are laws against it. And now if you beat your kid, there are laws against that too. If your kid complains and says, my parents beat me, they can be taken away from you. Like
he's wrong. He's 100% wrong. Having a random stranger come up and say it is not going to give him the information he needs to change. But I love the store. It's not the store's responsibility, but is it though? Because is this the case where the store, should I have gone to the store and said, first of all, I'm walking out of the store because this is happening in your store, right? So you now have to know that you're okay with it. Or you can get on the loudspeaker and say, hey, there ain't no spanking in our fucking store.
New policy.
I'm talking to you, 70% off. Yeah. So get the fuck
Rug
out.
man. Hey, rug man.
Well, I mean, I've walked out of other stores where we are in many places. There are stores. I don't know if it's an open carry state, and I should know because I volunteer for Moms Demand Gun Sense, our local chapter. I've walked out of a Walmart before because I was there with my youngest son, and I don't shop there regularly. We were there for some specific Walmart item. I don't even remember what. 3 people walked in, 2 adults and a old enough teenager that I might have said 3 adults, a couple and a child who was a teen. All three of them, open carrying, guns on the belt. And Mom's gun was pink. She had a pink revolver on her fucking belt. And in they walk with 3 guns. And I'm like, there is nothing that I need that is worth you imbeciles getting the power of my life in your hands. So out we go. I don't care. Out we fucking go. And it's gross. It's gross. So And Dick's Sporting Goods stopped selling guns, folks, and stopped selling whatever it is, bullets. They started ammunition. I don't know enough about it. I should know enough about it. Is this a case where the store should have... What can be done? How can we help? Is it that even rampant? Do you see people whacking their kids in public, or was this a rarity?
I don't see it because I really, again, my passive aggressive, I would find somebody I knew to speak loud enough to be heard by that person and be just angry enough. But it's not helping anything. I don't say that my passive aggression. Some would say I'm just aggressive and not passive aggressive. But...
Well, I would say in my Costco shopping, Target visiting life, I'm running in my head how many times I would hear kids losing their shit in these environments. And I would say that better than 80% of the time, it's the parent making some other usually wrong choice with this kid. I've seen everything from the parents sitting down, physically sitting on the floor with the child having the tantrum. They sat there and waited it out.
No, you walk away. Nobody wants a screaming kid.
They sat there as if to say, "We hippies support you, little tantrum thrower, and we're going to wait until you're okay again, and then we'll all walk around." I'm like, "No, you're not going to fucking wait. Take that shit outside." But they sat there all the way through, dragging the wailing, octopus of a child outside while they're in the throes of
bones,
it. I've seen that
but lots
many
of
times.
tentacles. No bones.
Or the worst of all is the ignoring the incredibly disruptive in the seat, in the cart child, pushing around, ignoring in the sense that all of your basic needs are met except for whatever problem is causing you to cry this way. I'm going to keep on shopping.
Don't worry about the other 200 people in this store.
Don't worry about whatever this kid needs. Clearly they're not getting, and whatever the rest of us need, like a moment of fucking sanity in the coffee aisle, we're not getting either. So I don't know what all the answers are, but it ain't those three. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, you really can't tell people how to parent. You can't tell. I mean, you can try to shame them into, that's actually my parenting technique, shame. so I mean, somebody's going to write a book making me a bad parent, and I'm going to sign it at the book signing.
Chapter all of them.
Chapter 1.
Chapter
Don't do what Missy does.
The Amy way. Yes. Bad, 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 bad.
So I have this theory on spanking.
You do?
It's for adults only. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with spanking as long as you're two consenting adults.
A little butt slap. Do you like that?
And I don't think a 4-year-old or 7-year-old or 10-year-old is a consenting adult.
No.
So keep your fucking hands to yourself until it comes to somebody saying, "Ow," and it's two consenting adults.
I don't mind a little giddy up slap, but it's not. Slap is even an overstatement. That's about as far as I'm going to go. I feel like weirdly, I do like to dish it out though, and that's not welcome by anybody. I don't.
That's not true.
No, I don't like. I'm not like a crazy S&M or aggressor. I don't even know is that the right one? Yeah. What's B? Oh, that's bondage. No, I fucking hate bondage. But the little slap business, I don't know. It hurts your hand. Your ass gets red. I don't know.
Well, I can't see my ass on the regular, so I don't care really what it looks like.
You can feel it. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't need things to be, very gentle. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like, fuck, I fell down the steps. Like, there's something in between.
I fell down the steps.
I mean, shit hurts. At a certain point, shit hurts. We got a lacrosse family. I'm used to people, wrestling and being ridiculous. And that's, there's a level
you have
of
that
this.
Crazy mane. How do you feel about hair pulling?
My hair pulling? 0.
I think you answered that with your hair pulling.
No, I fucking hate it. The worst part of having a lot of hair is you want it to be like sexy. But it's never convenient. You're either laying on it or somebody's arm is on it, or you turn your head and you're like, "Ook." No, I don't
mean an elbow stuck.
I am not down with being treated like an animal. I don't like people directing my head. I don't like.
How do you treat animals? What is happening here?
If you're riding a horse and you want them to turn and you bareback, you're going to grab a hold of their mane and turn their fucking head. What are you doing pulling my hair unless you want my face someplace? Fuck, and that is the answer. No, thanks. And P.S. It hurts your scalp. Who's pulling your fucking hair? And what are they trying to... Stop laughing. You open this can of horse. Let's go.
A can of horse. Look, The answer to spanking.
No, it's hair. Who's pulling your hair?
Nobody's pulling my hair. That doesn't want to punch in the face. Nobody. Anyone who'd like a punch in the face.
You like it, Tinkerbell. I think
nobody
you
likes
like it.
Tinkerbell. I'm an evil fairy. Yeah. So bottom line, don't fucking spank your kids. Spank your partner.
Gross turn, but yes, that's all gross.
Don't spank your kids, spank your partner.
Spanking only works if there's consent. And I guarantee you that child is like, I'm sorry I ran in the rug department. Would you whoop up on my ass to prove a point? Yeah, that's not.
I feel better now, Daddy.
I said ass. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, Daddy. It was awful. I hate that shit. That sounds gross, even in the perverted sense. So stop it.
Okay. All right, that's it. That's it. No more. That's it.
Stop.
Rumor has it you would like to do a shout out.
I would.
My fine feathered friend.
I would. So many people are posting on all of our socials, and I love it. And I would love to be able to list them all by name, and I'm badly prepared, and I don't have them all by name, other than there's a guy who's on there a lot who is always telling us good information. And I love it every time, and I take such joy in it. You would think I would pull it up and know. The other one that comes to mind is
Are you talking about Adam? Are you talking about Adam?
Yes!
Who gives good advice?
Yes!
Yeah, dear listeners, Adam is the host of Odd Dad Out, another super... I mean, there are like 6 people I know. So yeah, Adam's on my list. You're on my list, Adam. Check him out, and thank you for your contributions to our stories and our thoughts and our pictures. I love hearing what you have to say, reading what you have to say about shit we post. I love that you guys are out there, you're listening and you're commenting. Is there anyone else you want to...
Yes, in fact, there's a handful, but because I get a lot of texts from people who I know personally, and I got one from Michelle, who's a friend here locally, and it was after the podcast where I bared my soul of what would embarrass me, and I said, "Oh, it would be my poor record keeping and
finances.
all the mistakes I made." And the hour after that show dropped, she sent a text saying, not to betray too much, she's like, "You are not alone. You may think you're alone. You are not alone."
I
was like, I know I'm alone, but I thank you for the lie. Felt great. And the best one of all is, of course, I got a phone message. I almost thought I'm going to bring it in here and play it from the woman herself. It was Marnie leaving a message saying, "Hey, I heard your podcast. I just want to let you know.
I'll be there next week. I'll clean up your shit.
I will clean up your shit whenever you want. No judgment. Pick a date. Bye." Now, I knew it already, but just to hear it, I was like...
Dear listeners, make friends like this. Make friends that have excellent specific skills that will at some point of your life be super useful. Marnie, we all have a date plugged in for you to jump in and fix our finances. It had to happen. It had to happen. Remember, our self-care guru is out west. We have Sarah to do that. Marnie to take care of finances in your group of friends. Assign everyone a task. Let them know that in the future, they will be responsible for cleaning up messes you've made in different aspects of your life. They will not be surprised. They will not be surprised. I promise you.
And as our thanks and gratitude, we will make a hamantaschen combination pancake board just for you.
I will put out, you know what? I might put it out before this drops so people are like, what the fuck is this? Can't wait to hear your episode.
Oh, my God.
Dear listeners, we are available to you at Listen Brilliant. Yeah, right? Listen Brilliant and Brilliant Observations at gmail.com.
That's the one. That's the one.
You can write us.
I interrupted, and so she stopped, and we're looking at each other like, are you going to go? It's like that thing with the milkshake. If I, and you go. You do this part. You do it so well.
If we have moved you in any way... to giggle, to fart, to laugh, to share it. Yes. Oh my God, me too. Or I beat my kids. Fuck
Child
you, bitch.
Protective Services. Yes.
Not on me. I mean, you can protect.
Not on me. Yeah.
You can protect them from me shaming them, but you cannot protect them from violence because we don't hit in our house. We used to wrestle, but come on. I can't do that anymore because
it doesn't work. Big. It actually just for the cap on the pen, it actually does the opposite. It reinforces
violence.
Humility and shame and mistrust and
not
disrespect.
Humiliation.
It takes humiliation. Yeah.
Big difference.
It does you correct as usual. It does the exact opposite of what you think it's doing as the aggressor. It's not It's not proving to this person to submit to your will. It's actually doing the opposite. It's showing that you are not trustworthy. You are not reliable. You are not the person that they will ever do anything except they're now going to, it's inviting them to manipulate the situation so that you understand less about what's going on.
And violence begets violence. If you think you're beating a child to get them to stop something, you're starting something. And just so you know, we are not experts in any field.
No, but the good news is in this case, all we're doing is quoting the experts. So all you need to do is type in, is spanking okay? And then whatever answers you get back, as long as they're from a research-based source, they're going to point out to you how, with all I saw something today that a Harvard researcher, everybody wants to say Harvard. Yeah. A Harvard researcher, because they're so great, reinforced that Mr. Rogers had it right, that, people are generally kinder and good in their core. There's some theories that say people are bad and we all want to do this. No, all the research is pointing to we're good people. We're going to do the right thing. We're going to try harder. So if you're one of these, if you're try hard and you're just thinking, whatever I've done in the past, guess what? That shit's over. Starting now and in the future, look up how to act. We don't fucking know. So we go and try to do better. So go
we
look
know
at
come
go
from
look
love. It comes from love. If it comes from love, it can't go wrong. So let's start there. Let's end there, actually. Dear listeners, I couldn't even tell you what this episode was about. I'm glad to have been able to share with you, to talk at you, to think that you might possibly be listening. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you, Amy. I am just grateful. I'm going to go put on my grateful sweatshirt and have people judge me when we go to dinner so I can passive-aggressively shout or just aggressively shout.
If they're judging you, then pass them the bill and tell them to fuck off because you're at the wrong table.
All right. Done. Hey, guys. Thanks for listening. We love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Oh, my sweet. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice that you are missing on the podcast. Well, I can tell, Dolly, it is swell, Dolly. No one knows if you're